UFC 308 on October 26th in Abu Dhabi. It is going to be one heck of a card, especially that main event, the featherweight championship between Ilia Topuria, the champion, and my next guest, the BMF champion, my longtime friend, Max Holloway. How are you, Blessed?
Good, brother. How you doing?
I am doing awesome. You're coming off an unbelievable win over Justin Gaethje, and I guess you have a fight here where you can regain your championship. And you do that, and you're going to be in running for Fighter of the Year this year. You and Alex Pereira wins over Gaethje and Ilia Topuria put you right at the top of the heap, I would think.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if they'll do that. The way Alex took fights. I mean, the fastest guy to defend his title, right? With 3 title defenses, that's a hard man to beat. I mean, every time I'm in the talks for it, somebody's having a crazy ass year, and I think Alex Pereira got that win in the bag already.
I think he's probably the leader, but with wins over Gaethje and Topuria, you would be right there. Before I get into the fight, I want to ask you something. Last week in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, we had the light heavyweight boxing championship between Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol. And there was an interesting, Bivol's ex-wife, they just recently got divorced. She released to social media all the injuries he had, and she actually tagged Artur Beterbiev to it. And I want to read this list of injuries that she said he had, because I wonder, you've been in this game a long time. Is this common for fighters to go into fights with this amount of injuries? She said he has a stress fracture of a vertebrae in his back. Both of his hands have been operated on multiple times. His elbow has been operated on multiple times. He needs surgery on his knee, and both knees are very sore. His left ear is constantly swelling and has been perforated many times. Fluid has accumulated in his eye many times. Oftentimes, he can't see well. Is that something that fighters that have been around a long time deal with on a regular basis?
For sure. I think when we get injured or as we get older, we get smarter, we take care of it. But I mean, when we're young fighters, you're hurting, you're like, I can get through this. I'll just push through it. No worry, I'll just push through it. No worries, I push through it, and it catches up with you, So at the end of the day, that guy's a beast, bro. Bill's a beast for me to go out there and perform the way he does and fight the way he does fight, and that's just crazy. But most fighters do, You just don't hear us talk about it because.
Yeah,
we don't want a pity story,
Yeah, exactly. What, from your standpoint, do you still limit the amount of sparring that you do?
Yeah, I'm not sparring. We spar. I move, like I said. We got back into sparring for the Justin Gaethje fight just because who Justin was, and we're sparring smart for this fight too because who Ilia is. But at the end of the day, it's all about taking care of your body and being smart about it. And I think so we found a great balance, and that makes me able to spar again, and I'm loving it.
Awesome. I think there's 2 ways to look at what Ilia is doing. I look at it and I say, hey, he's doing a good job promoting the fight. He's out there. He said to me yesterday, if you go to the floor, he would submit you within a second. And if he points to the center of the octagon at the beginning of the fight, he would score the fastest knockout in UFC history. I kind of look at that. I believe he respects you as a fighter and knows how good you are. He's trying to sell the fight. But when you hear him say that, do you look at it as disrespectful? Do you get angry at that kind of stuff? How do you take it?
I mean, it is what it is, If that's what it takes, and that's what it needs to keep him confident to get to the fight, then so be it, I don't take nothing personal. It's just business. A fight is a fight, And then Dave, he's gonna talk that way. He's gonna talk that way, The beautiful thing is, we get to find out come October 26th, and we're days away from that, a week away from that, and I can't wait.
There was a thing before your fight with Gaethje. People were talking about your chin, and you have one of the best chins in the UFC, and you've never been knocked down. There was a questionable knockdown in that fight, I guess, right? Was that a knockdown? Like, officially, did you feel the punch, and did that cause you to go down?
I mean, I got hit, and then I freaking touched the mat, and I guess in a knockdown, whenever you get hit and your gloves would touch the glove after getting hit, if your gloves touch the mat, that's considered a knockdown, right? So by that sense, yeah, I know they didn't count it as one officially, but if you look at what a knockdown is, he hit me, my gloves touched the ground, my butt touched the ground. I got back up real fast, but I mean, it is what it is.
Were you buzzed by that at all?
I was fine. I was fine. I was fine. I don't know what I mean, not I don't know what happened. I know he hit me on top of the head, and then fell to my butt and jumped right back up. So I was fine. I felt good. I felt great. I know he pressured me a little bit. I got to keep him off of me for a little bit, and rest is history.
Last question about the Gaethje fight. One of the things that you did was the point to the center of the octagon with 10 seconds. That became this iconic moment in UFC history. You are a smart guy. I know you have a store. You have everything. Do you have a little silhouette of yourself pointing to the center of the octagon to sell T-shirts and hats and that kind of thing to take advantage of the fact that you had that iconic moment?
For sure. I mean, before the iconic moment, I already had my logo. My logo was the point down because we did it against Ricardo Lamas, so way back when, and yeah, at the end of the day, we took full control of that point down and everything, and just so happened that it got to come back around. UFC 300, one of the biggest events, or the biggest event UFC ever is going to put on, to probably 400. So I was just happy that I was blessed with the opportunity to be on that card, to have that moment, and we're in a sport to make crazy history moments, and I mean, that one's gonna stick around for a long time. So I'm a part that I get to be, the good side on that moment.
Yeah, exactly. How? Tell me a little bit about what you think of Ilia. I mean, the fact that he knocked Alex out. You have been in the octagon with Alex a lot. Alex Volkanovski, for people who don't know who I'm referring to. You know how good Alex Volkanovski is. The fact that he knocked him out, obviously, that is impressive. How good is Ilia? And do you think there's any weakness in his game that you can exploit?
I mean, we get to find out, right? We're days away from it, and I can't wait. He did what he did against Alex. A lot of people are going to say it's a compromise, Alex, but he stood. Went out there and did what he did. He still had to win the fight. He still had to land that punch, and he did it. So at the end of the day, respect to him. I know that the UFC they signed him, and they thought this guy was going to be like a grappler. I mean, he's a very good grappler, as you could say, and a very good wrestler. But he's just been knocking out guys since he got in the UFC. So
Right.
at the end of the day, he looks like a complete fighter, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the opportunity. I'm blessed with the opportunity to share the octagon with the man, and can't wait to go out there and do my thing.
You are ranked in both lightweight and featherweight. Assuming you have the featherweight belt, how do you prefer to go going forward? Will you just defend the featherweight belt as long as you have it, or will you look at your career on a fight by fight basis and say what fight presents itself at this moment in time that is most interesting to me?
We'll see what happens. First things first is Ilia Topuria. I'm not going to look past him. That guy's a dangerous man, and he deserves all the respect in the world from me and all my focus. So that's the first thing. Everything goes right come October 26th. I get my hand raised. I'm sure you'll be there. You can ask me this question after.
Yeah. So after the fight ends, and you're going on, like, what will you do? Like, will you stay in Abu Dhabi for a while, like, just to enjoy the scenery? Like, have you been able to enjoy the country in the time there since you've been there trying to acclimate?
Yeah, we got to do some things. I mean, the last two times I came was COVID times where we
Yeah.
had to stay in the room, and then the next time was we could actually go out a little bit. But now, we get to enjoy it. We get to walk around, see the culture, see the people, go to the mall. We went to the world's tallest building here, the Birds of Khalifa, and that was a pretty amazing thing to see. So we're gonna be here a little bit while after the fight too, because just so we don't want to. I hate rushing around after fights. Like, we're after fights and flying out the next day, so we always take like a 1 or 2 day just to chill and decompress and just hang out with the family and the friends that came out that made this long trip.
And I guess I forgot, that's really a stupid question because you live in paradise, right? So what am I asking? So what kind of question was that?
Nah, it's cool. It's cool to see, man. The technology, the cars, the money up here is just it's insane, and it's just cool to be a part of it and actually enjoy the culture for once.
Let's wrap with this. Do you you referenced, he came into the UFC with a reputation as a grappler, and he is 15-0, 9 submissions, 4 knockouts. So obviously he has more than twice as many submissions. How do you expect him to approach you? Do you think he's going to, try to stand with you like he says, or is that a bluff? And, I know it's a mixed martial arts fight and anything can happen, but what do you expect out of him?
I mean, he's undefeated. He always finds a way to win. So, I mean, if things not going his way on the feet, I definitely know he's gonna go out there and try to win the fight. He's a fighter. He's a champion. So at the end of the day, I just can't wait for it. We get to. He talked his talk. I talked my talk, and our talk will be done October 26th. We get to see who gets the last laugh, and I can't wait for it.
Nobody has fought more tougher opposition. I think if they did a ranking, you would have to be, you or Justin Poirier would probably have to be number 1 or number 1A in terms of the most elite fighters that you have faced. Like your resume is crazy, Max. So much respect to you. I should mention that UFC 308 is at a different time in the United States. Normally it starts 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific time, and I guess Hawaii time, Max. But is that what, 8 a.m. Hawaii
8
time?
Main card starts at 8 a.m. all my Hawaiian, so
there you go. So we want
people from 8 a.m. in the morning. It's gonna be crazy.
Max, best of luck to you, brother. Always good to see you, and talk to you again soon.
Thank you, brother. Hello.